How are we all going? RC Fourbieman's on a road trip. It's the Easter holidays. I'm going to shoot up and catch up with some family, but on the way up, I'm going to call in and catch up with a friend of mine who runs a hobby shop at Agnes Waters, Matt Evans from Lighthouse RC. Really knowledgeable sort of a chap, and geez, he does a good job at what he does. So looking forward to actually calling in there and seeing what he's got, you know, sort of on the go. So, make yourself a cuppa, have a beer, bourbon, whatever your pleasure is, find somewhere comfortable and grab a stump and have a chat to me while we're travelling so I don't fall asleep. Yeah, that'll probably be a good plan, not falling asleep. Fatigue zone trivia games may help stay alert. Alright, what have we got happening? Fatigue zone question. Name for baby echidna. I actually think that's a puggle. I think that's what it is. I think it's called a puggle. So we'll get up the road and... Answer is a puggle. There you go, look at that. A puggle. Right, we got the next one coming up. I quickly jumped off that. Okay, pronounce taro. Well, as I said it, I think that's how you pronounce it, taro. So we'll see what the answer is up here and see how close it was to that one. No, there you go, tie row. Tie as in bow tie and row as in row a boat. There you go. 1 out of 2. Must try harder. Now, I don't know about your country, but in Australia we have quarter mile drag strips. Here's one now. They're called overtaking lanes. And so it's a 60 zone right now with roadworks. I'm going to sit on the 60. But what I should be doing now is accelerating and driving really fast. See that fella got past me? Well, that's not what you do. You don't do that. You got another one coming past. See, I should be accelerating now, which I will do now because it's coming up to 100 zone. But that's yeah, we have what they call quarter mile drag strips, and they're overtaking lanes. And that's where when you come to one, rather than let people go past if you've been driving slow, you speed up and you stay ahead of them, and then once you get to the end of the quarter mile drag strip, like you'll see here, you know, you've got a few cars that are coming through. Now once you get to the end of the quarter mile drag strip, it's important to slow down now, because all of the buggers behind you that were unfortunate enough to be able to get by you, well then you hold them up until the next quarter mile drag strip. It's a really good game, you know. I'm sure it wouldn't annoy people at all. It doesn't annoy me much. Yeah, apparently. Quarter mile drag strips every couple of Ks in Australia. It's great. I don't know what prizes you win, but maybe a ticket. You got people just roaring past. I used to be like that years ago, but I'm not going to now. You realise how valuable your licence is when you think here comes another one roaring past. We'll call them our radar detectors. So if we see a little sporty car up ahead, or a full drive with blue lights flashing, you know that they took the heat. And in case they miss them, here's another one. Yeah. And another one. Well, they can have it on their own. The last thing I want to be doing is getting caught up with a speeding ticket over Easter. Not for me. No. And here we come into Tyro. Not Taro. Tyro. Hey, now while I got you there too, you remember back a couple of episodes on RC Fourbieman that I was mentioning that there'd been a complaint made against my channel regarding music, and at the time I didn't understand it, and I was a little bit apprehensive because the warnings that they send you, they sort of, like, they're serious about it. They say you get 3 strikes and that's it, you get deleted and it's all gone. And I sort of didn't want to jeopardise everything that I had up on the channel so far, so I reluctantly made another one. I don't even think I put any music in that one. And then the next one, I think I put my own intro back into it again. Anyway, I received an email from YouTube, and they said they'd received another 4 complaints regarding my music, and I'm thinking, oh geez, you know, I'm not too sure why, you know what I mean? Everything that I'm using is apparently okay. So, but then the email went on to read that it must have been finally a human being that got in and had a look, and realised that it was unfounded. So they not only put those 4 back up, but they also put the other one back up that was originally removed from the original complaint. And I thought, well, that's pretty good, you know. Still didn't have a clue what the go was, or where I'd breached, or, you know, what I'd done wrong. But however, I'm sort of like, wasn't too bothered either. If it meant that my videos were back up there and I was safe to keep doing them, well, then that's great. Then I saw on YouTube, I saw a video, and it was entitled this channel will be deleted in very soon. And I thought, well, that's a weird sort of a title. So I clicked on it to have a look, and it turns out, like a lot of the YouTubers, when there's a complaint comes in, if it's a complaint about music, you don't have to have any proof. So if you want to be a mongrel or someone on YouTube, I mean, I'm not meaning to say this so the trolls come and attack me, or the trolls come and attack whoever, but basically you can make a complaint regarding music, and you don't have to have proof. You've automatically got a strike. You can contest it, and the way that you can test it is you can contact the person who made the complaint. Now, being a troll that they are, that they don't reply, so it goes through for the 10 days. Then after the 10 days, it's realised that there is no complaint, or there's been no challenge to it, so your strike gets taken away, unless on the 10th day they do it to you again. Now, this guy on this YouTube channel, he's got a channel that's lots and lots of views, lots and lots of videos, and he's got 2 channels. Well, obviously someone's got it in for him. Now, he's been through the first 3 days. He had the first 3 complaints. Tried contacting YouTube. Like a lot of these organisations, you can't actually talk to someone. It's all bots and whatever. Anyway, he thought, well, I'll wait it out. So he waited out for the 10th day. Right on the 10th day, there was another 3 complaints, which locked him out of his YouTube thing again. Went for another 10 days, and then it was his final opportunity to sort it. But once again, right on the mark, there was 3 more complaints. So then because it was so many, and he had replied, which he can't because he's locked out of his channel, locked out of being able to access it. So now, because of the way that it is, his channel's about to be deleted for all these complaints, which are unfounded. Now, the ironic part of it is, as he said in his video, he doesn't play music. There is no music in his episodes, in his videos that he makes. There is no music, and yet someone can make a complaint about music and they don't check it, they just do it. So that is what I think happened regarding my channel. For some reason, whether it was someone didn't want me to do what I'm doing, or whether someone just sort of wanted to be nasty, or whatever the reason was, I don't know. But thankfully a human's seen mine, and so thankfully a human now can hopefully keep an eye on what's happening, and it won't happen again. But it just goes to show sort of just how scary it is. You put these YouTubes together, I'll rephrase, you put these episodes together for YouTube like I'm doing now. I don't get paid for this. I'm nowhere near big enough. I'd have to have at least 1,000 subscribers before I think I started being monetized, and even then it goes on how many views you have. Well, I'm not nowhere near big enough to have those sort of things. So all of what I'm doing, it's not about the money. It's about me enjoying doing what I'm doing. It's about me enjoying my hobby, and it's about me sharing with you viewers the RC hobby. And, you know, hopefully the more I go, the more I'll learn, and the more things we can look at. Not just four-wheel drives and drift cars. You know, we can look into a lot of things hopefully further down the future. But in the meantime, it's a platform that allows me to have something to occupy my time. But the biggest one, and the sole purpose of doing it originally, was to have a laugh, bring some cheer into some people's lives, and if I can help with anyone who's struggling with anxiety or depression with a few accompanying words or a bit of advice that worked for me, well, that's what it's all about. And as you always hear me speak, if you're struggling, if you're having a hard time, if you've got a lot on your plate, if there's things that are going on in your life and you're having a difficult time of it, reach out. You'll just be surprised. I say it every time, and the reason I say it is because it's true. When you reach out, you share the burden, you share your story with someone that you know, it helps, because not only can they be there to help support you, but they might also have advice, and they might see things in a different light than what you're seeing. You could be a little bit foggy with your thoughts. Someone who's not suffering from depression and anxiety might have a clearer mindset. And if they've got a clearer mindset, well, then they might just be able to sort of say a few things that might actually, you know, strike a chord with you. So if you're struggling, promise me, guys, promise me that you'll reach out. One of the wonderful organisations, a family member, a friend, you know, your kids if they're old enough. It doesn't matter who it is, just do it. Just make sure that you work hard to get you back. You don't have to work hard to make someone else happy. You don't have to work hard to, you know, make someone else's life bloody awesome while you sit back and be miserable and whatever. No, you work hard on getting you happy and your old. And if you're not your old self, well, then that's what it's about. Working hard to get your old self back. The most important thing. I think I've got a turn off coming to Bundaberg, maybe. So I might shut this down and we'll have a look before I overshoot and end up in Ethiopia. Alright, it was a turn off, I think, to Maryborough. We got 112 k's to Bundaberg, so I think the turn off will come up here in about probably 80 k's or something. So anyway, we'll get back on the road and hopefully we'll get another trivia question. Love the trivia questions. Here we go. Keep left and less overtaking. 100 speed limit. I'm doing 100. But I'm obviously not fast enough. So straight you can see for bloody miles. See? Your speed, you get busted. That's one of the things I was going to make sure that I did not do, especially over the Easter weekend. I don't normally speed anyway, but I certainly wasn't going to speed on the Easter weekend, and I certainly wasn't going to speed on this trip up here. And as you just saw there, you saw them ones roaring past me. Silly people. You're just giving money away. Don't speed. Simple as that. That'll be the next radar detector. Look for a black four drive with bushes on the back. Wait for the flashing lights. This old beastie coming past. Woohoo! Nice. Track now. I got a bit confused back there. Bloody hell, roads going everywhere. Just turned off the main road, and I believe if I was to drive into this driveway right here, we have arrived at one of the best hobby shops I know. And Matt Evans, the proprietor, will be one of the cleverest fellas that I know. Drive in there, and there we have Lighthouse RC. Righto, had a safe trip up. Wasn't confronted by too many idiots. Here we are at Lighthouse RC at Agnes Waters. We'll go in and have a chat when he's ready and see what the man's up to. So we've just arrived up at Lighthouse RC at Agnes Waters. We're going to have a bit of a chin wag with Matt Evans, the proprietor. And one of the things that when I was here last he was talking about was getting not too sure the scale. We'll find out. What scale is the track? This one. N-gauge. N-gauge. Okay, she's an N-gauge. And have a look at this. Unbelievable. You can see them there. You've got one that's about to come round here shortly. Looks like it's got about 4 carriages on it. Hopefully I'm not shaking too much. And what a magic setup. What just changed the view? What a wicked setup. I think I'm sort of showing that well enough to get a bit of an idea of it. It's, yeah, come a long way. Train on. And you got an awesome price on it too. 400. Very nice. This is almost therapeutic. Complete with graffiti. All things RC, you'll be able to pick up soon. I think it might be a P51 Mustang. I've owned a couple of these, and what an absolute barrel of laughs. And relatively cheap for the price too, Matt.
Yeah.
So what does one of these go for now?
It's about 175 ready to fly.
That's all right. That's bloody brilliant.
That's the plane remote, battery,
That's
charger,
everything, yeah.
Extra batteries are $10 a pop. 8 to 12 minute flight time out of these little things, depending on how crazy. Like as you can see, the wind's knocking around a little bit.
Yeah.
It's all dry and stabilised, and this is only a relatively small car park. So.
And you get to have bird fights.
Yes, dog fights with the wildlife.
Unreal. Hoots along.